Hey, Matt Lachlan here. If you're watching this video, chances are you already saw our shorter version of Scott Carr. This is the uncut take of our interview with him and our cover story for Coeur d'Alene Real Producers. You'll get to know him more personally as a man, what he loves about his wife, his kids, and where he grew up, that sort of thing, so enjoy.
Grew up in Moscow from as early as I can remember. I got a sibling, a brother that's 40, and I'm 43. So tight-knit family. My folks are still married. They followed me up to Coeur d'Alene, and I've lived in Coeur d'Alene Place since I moved from Moscow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Such a stable animal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is. It's kind of the feel I like of just salt of the earth folks, family folks. That's how I wanted to raise my kids, and that's how I grew up. So, yeah. Let's see. I went to U of I, so I didn't branch out too far, but most of my friends, and I wanted to stay close to my folks and family. That's looking back on it, I have mixed feelings about it, but it would have been nice to get away for a little while and come back. But with that being said, I was able to form all the lifelong relationships I still have. I probably talked to my, I don't know if you're familiar with Voxer, it's that app that...
it's like Marco Polo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So with my 5 best high school friends, we talk multiple times a day, every day.
So awesome.
Yeah.
From high school?
From high school.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I've got a great relationship with them.
Where do they live?
One of them stayed in Moscow. I got one in Boise, one in Moses Lake, and one's our closest friends in Coeur d'Alene, just around the corner. I've known my wife since we were 12.
It's amazing. So you knew her all through high school?
We were super good friends through high school. She asked me to Deb's night as a junior. That kind of rekindled our friendship even further, and we maintained our friendship through high school and college. We were always dating other folks, and she moved away to the East Coast for a while, came back, and just kind of the timing worked out where we were both single, and just kind of evolved from there. So
that's beautiful. Even the way you contextualize it as friendship.
Yeah.
You just had a genuine friendship.
We have. It's been a really good foundation for our relationship, for sure. We've known everything about each other from junior high, basically.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
That's rare to find, it seems, in today's world.
Yeah.
You grew up together through your 20s and sorted it out.
Right, yeah, and we were friends for 12 years before we even started dating. So yeah. So before real estate, I was a marketing major down at U of I. One of my fraternity brothers, Mike Gregg, who was a commercial agent at Coldwell Banker, had graduated a semester before me, and he was from Coeur d'Alene. He knew I wanted to get up to Coeur d'Alene as soon as we graduated. I spent my summers bartending on the Coeur d'Alene resort cruise boats, and knew that this is where I wanted to land. The lake just, speaks to me just like it does so many others, but wanted to be near the water. I loved to ski, wanted to be near the ski hills. My daughter's firstborn is 16 now. She's driving all of a sudden, and it's learning all the boundaries of, as a parent, right? Like, oh my gosh, they want to go to the Spokane Valley Mall and drive on the freeway and drive up to Schweitzer to go skiing, and it's been a challenge to say, okay, what's the balance between a helicopter parent and keeping tabs on what they're up to. For sure, but she's my swimmer. She's swam competitively since she's 8, and I can't say enough positive things about what that experience has been for her, and just the group that she's been involved in, and the coaching, and I would highly recommend that to any parent. Just obviously, that changes the dynamic when you're at any social function with a pool or at the lake, right? And instead of like, oh my gosh, where's my kid? I can't have a conversation for more than 3 seconds to, she swims better than I do.
Yeah, she'll save you.
Totally. So, that's been great. My son is a sports fanatic, similar to me. I think he probably got that from me. But he's my basketball player. I was not, but he's found a lot of joy and success in that. We do the AAU all summer and winter long, and so yeah, it's been fun doing that, and Hoop Fest and those types of things.
Yeah.
So my wife, what do I appreciate the most about her? You know, so she's honestly probably the kindest person you'll ever meet. She really is. She's very positive. You'll never hear her say a negative thing about anybody. You know, she's a gem to be around for sure, and is always smiling. She works over at, she's an esthetician in Liberty Lake, and you know, and I think her natural ability, she likes to help people feel good about themselves. You know, and so she's doing all that stuff for the gals. But yeah, she's an artist as well. We've got an art studio in our house. We had one in our last place. So every chance she gets, she's, you know, painting. Yeah, we probably have, I think at last count, maybe 30 paintings hung up in our house. I mean, they're a lot of color, and yeah, it's really nice to walk through and.
That's wonderful.
And say, yeah.
That's awesome. In your 80s, 90s, or whatever you leave this world, what do you hope people will say about you?
Wow, I don't think I've ever been asked that question. You know, off the top of my head, I think first and foremost that, you know, that I was honest and had a lot of integrity and you know, treated, you know, in terms of my clients, treated them as if they were my family and siblings, right? Looking out for their best interests first. I definitely take a lot of pride in making sure that I'm doing the right thing for my clients always. So yeah, in terms of work, that's what I would say. Personally, yeah, I think just that I was fun to be around, right? You know, just that folks wanted you to be around, right? And wanted you to be a part of their life, and that's the part I enjoy most about being a real estate agent is that I look at it as, like I mentioned before, everybody knows 7 or 10 agents, right? And if they choose you, it's like, hey.
They're literally choosing just your being. They'd like to be with you.
Like, I trust you, right? With my biggest purchase. And then I get to be, you know, it's fulfilling to know that they feel that way about me, and then I get to be a part of their biggest purchase, and everyone's always excited to buy, you know, a new house for their family, the next chapter, right? It's not like you're helping them buy insurance, and nothing against insurance folks, but I went down that road previously, and it's like, wow, no one's excited to buy insurance, right? It's a totally different dynamic.
Yeah. Challenges in life, and what did you find most useful to navigate that?
So, you know, what comes to mind when you say that in terms of challenges I faced, and I think everybody that's been in this business for a while would probably say, right, the '08 recession, right? And how do you get through that? And at the time, you know, it was such a different market, and folks were panicking and leaning on you, and it was the pressure of like, you got to help me get out of this, and I need every dime you can get, and right, and it is one you literally, you know, lost sleep over. Like, how am I going to what am I going to do differently than everybody else to get their property sold, and what is it going to take to do it, right? And you know, I found myself, I'm not a big reader. And I was reading any and every book I could, and admittedly was reading some of the, you know, Keller Williams has got a great book on, you know, how to get through the recession and, you know, what you need to do, and I found myself just shutting the door in my office and just trying to grasp any and every idea I could and tailoring it to, you know, how I could apply it. You know, in those days, my marketing spend was pretty big, trying to get these properties sold, and I leaned on my friends quite a bit that were either in the business or in similar businesses where you felt like you were writing a check to come to work because you weren't closing anything every month, right, on top of just your time, but it's like, hey, I'm spending thousands of dollars every month in advertising, and I didn't bring any in, right? And you know, those are some sleepless nights, and like you, I wanted my wife at home when my kids were little, raising the kids, so I was the sole source of income at the time. And yeah, I think, I leaned on a lot of different folks, and just kind of open yourself up to anybody's advice, and
so you know, willing to be flexible and try anything that.
Yeah, I think just being, you know, more open-minded than, you know, you could, of like, hey, what are other folks doing that are working? Is it just even outside of our market, right? And obviously this isn't the first recession, so folks have gotten through it before, and we'll do the same. So.
Yeah, that's a great example.